TGCRequiem, we're back with modern Grixis Reanimator. Oh, excuse me. A little bit of a throat rumble there. We're going to be on the play. Had some pretty good games so far. This unfortunately is unkeepable with no mana sources. So probably not the most ideal 6-card hand, but at this point, you know, the deck is a little land light, and with some filtering we may be able to kind of draw into what we need. So we're just going to keep here. Peer through depths seems fine. I believe we're on the play, so I guess we could just lead on steam vents and then slide a hand. I think that's fine. Of course, we don't want to draw, so I think we're actually just going to delta here, and then we'll just plan on cracking the fetch the following turn after we play our land for turn. Opponent steam vents into presumably Serum Visions. Maybe this is a storm opponent. Opponent puts both cards on the bottom, which is good for us. I think we're gonna lead on steam vents into sleight of hand, and then we'll see what we get off that, whether or not we want to crack our delta for sideways shock or not. Oh, Liliana's Death's Majesty. So when I think of red-blue, you know, the decks that stand out to me right now are Grixis. So you have potentially, I mean, this theoretically could be a mirror match. You know, we could have a Grixis Shadow player. We could have a Storm player. I just don't know that Liliana is great against any of those. However, we do have access to 5 mana, and we don't need the mountain. So I think we are actually going to just go for the Liliana's Death's Majesty here. And then we will just plan to crack for a sideways fetch. We could peer through depths at end step. Off the Simian Spirit Guide, but I'm not super thrilled about that idea. Okay, so now I'm starting to wonder if we're maybe even playing like a Blue Moon player. So we may want to consider fetching into basics. Still not a whole lot to do here. We can look at running out Liliana's Death's Majesty next turn. Definitely starting to think we're playing a Blue Moon opponent. Collective Brutality is fine here. You know, we're not running out to Through the Breach at this point because, or the peer through depths at this point, just because what we need is a creature, not a we need a creature, not a actual instant or sorcery. So we're just going to try and clear the way for Liliana next turn. So this is actually Storm then. So it looks like they're just going to Pyretic Ritual into a Gifts Ungiven in response to this Collective Brutality. They don't want the Collective Brutality or the Gifts Ungiven taken out of their hand. So we are going to probably plan to peer through depths on end step this turn. So we want to put the rituals into the graveyard, and then probably take the Past in Flames, though they may have a Past in Flames already. A fistful of cards. Yeah, so they have rituals, Past in Flames. So they're going to have a land, so they could play 2 to get 3. Then 2 of that 3 down to 1 to get 3 up to 4, 5. I actually don't know that. Let's see, Past in Flames takes 5, so if they run that, that's 6 Past in Flames. Yeah, I think we still just have to take the Past in Flames here. And then just hope we can kind of draw into the ability to through the breach them next turn. Because if we only do 4, they could Past in Flames and potentially still have mana to launch others, I think. I'm thinking here. So they're in a Desperate Ritual. Manamorphose. Okay, so they're going to try and set up a Serum Visions. Is that what they're going for? They're going to Pyretic Ritual. Okay, so they're just trying to filter their draws. They've Manamorphosed twice now. Then they're going to Pyretic Ritual, and then presumably they'll fire off the Desperate Ritual with 1 more mana. And then at the very least they can Serum Visions, but they hit another Manamorphose. They also played their Mountain. So they're actually just going to Grape Shot me. Maybe they drew another Grape Shot. Seems like they kind of went for it and they're trying to minimize the damage to themselves by having spent all those resources. Okay, empty the Warrens. That's pretty bad. Emrakul's not doing much against this. So I think we have to peer through depths here. We almost need really Grizzlebrand to offset the damage from all of these. And unfortunately that... we really need like a Watery Grave here, a Blood Crypt. Puts us to 7. They're going to attack for 14, but we would gain 7. We can't even do that. So, I mean, I guess we don't need Liliana anyway, so it's not going to win us this game. Might as well just... Through the Breach, the rest on the bottom. Through the Breach is not what we needed there. Emrakul, but now we only have the one Simian Sphere Guide. So we're just going to go ahead and pack this one in. That's a loss. Nothing we can do from this point. Well, let's think about that. Yeah, because if we end up casting Faithless Looting, again, well, I guess, yeah, no, because then we're still Emrakul, they attack. They're still going to have enough tokens. So yeah, we've just lost either way here. So post-board plan, Echoing Truth would be really good. Thoughtseize could be very good. Anger and Fatal Push could be pretty good. I'm not saying we want all those cards. These are just ones. I don't think we want that many Anger, and I think paired with Echoing Truth, I think we're fine with no more than 2. Excuse me. No more than 2. Fatal Push for their creatures, the Brawls, and Goblin Electromancers. I don't think Liliana's Death's Majesty is going to do anything here. Don't know that they run a lot of Graveyard Hate in particular. I'm really just not certain what they do out of the graveyard. Don't think we need Boseyu. Actually, I really feel like with the Fatal Pushes, we probably don't even need the extra Anger with the Gods. These cards all seem good. I think if we get to the point where we're doing a Through the Breach, we might be in a little more trouble. But we also want to be fast. So I think we're going to cut these. And play something a little like this. Again, I just don't expect much graveyard hate out of our opponent because they are so reliant on the graveyard themselves. Again, unkeepable. And unfortunately, we're going to have to keep this. I'll put that on the bottom. And then I think we just lead on Spire Bluff Canal here. We're going to take the Serum Visions. And the next turn we'll fetch for a... Oh, I guess we have to fetch for a swamp. Grizzlebrand, Is It Charm, Goryo's Vengeance. We want all of these cards. We do run some risk of not being able to pitch the Grizzlebrand. What could we do? The best we could do next turn. I think we definitely want the Goryo's Vengeance. The question really is the Is It Charm. I think we're going to put the Is It Charm on top, the Vengeance on top of that. We definitely want to draw the Goryo's Vengeance, but we can kind of make the choice with sleight of hand on the Is It Charm next turn. If our opponent Blood Moons us, then we're basically just hoping to draw into enough cards to discard Grizzlebrand naturally, and then Goryo's Vengeance it. So that's interesting. Opponent just turn 1 didn't do anything. Drew in Serum Visions. They must have a handful of 2s. Oh, interesting. So Emrakul is very, very interesting. A Through the Breaching Emrakul could be enough to get us a win where Grizzlebrand may not. I think we take the Emrakul here. We certainly could Is It Charm to both discard and Goryo's Vengeance, but there's also a risk that the opponent just Blood Moons us next turn, and we have no way to cast Is It Charm in that scenario. So I think Emrakul is kind of like our potential win there. Echoing Truth is great. We don't really need to do anything, so we're just gonna play that sideways. Opponent definitely doesn't look like they're going to be Blood Mooning us, fetching for non-basic. So Simian Spirit Guide, we can try and Simian Spirit Guide in an Emrakul, but I think we would almost rather, since they're just holding up mana, do this on their end step. We're also good with just Echoing Truth and potentially bouncing what our opponent goes for. I don't even know that we want to go for this right now. Okay, so now I'm good to go for this on their end step. Drawing to the second Through the Breach means we can sacrifice the Simian Spirit Guide, hope to draw into another land, and go for it again the following turn. If they remain the Through the Breach, that's not particularly great for them either. I suppose I could have considered that last turn. Perhaps they have another remand. Now if they go to try and cast anything, we can Echoing Truth their Brawl here. I think we just go for it either way. Ideally delays them a turn. Looks like they have Dispel. Okay, so we know they're bringing in some counter magic, so maybe we do want to prepare, bring in a Besayu for the next game. Probably going to plan to fetch for an island here. Is the opponent going to be able to go for it here? Looks like they're just going to get us. Yeah, so they have Past in Flames. Oh, they're going straight for Gifts Ungiven. That's kind of interesting. Seems like they should have gone for the Past in Flames first. Run out some more rituals, Manamorphosed into some blue mana. Gifts, Serum Visions. I mean, they're still probably fine, I suppose. Maybe they haven't played their land for turn. If they run out of blue mana source, then we'll probably just concede here. I mean, yeah, they can Gifts, but if they Gifts, they don't have the ability to Past in Flames. But if they Past in Flames, I don't think they... Oh, okay, here we go. So now that makes a little more sense. So I would expect to see Past in Flames here, yep. Alright, and we're just going to F6. The opponent has us now. I'll just let you all watch them finish us off. So they cast Desperate Ritual, Paralytic Ritual, Paralytic Ritual, Desperate Ritual. And they're going to Manamorphose. Probably get some blue mana. Manamorphose again, most likely. Perhaps Serum Visions. Oops, there's the second Manamorphose. And we got Serum Vision, Sleight of Hand. So we're going straight for the Gifts. Maybe just go get another Grape Shot, then we can just Grape Shot, Grape Shot. We could throw the second Grape Shot into the graveyard to make them really work for it. So now they can just pass. Yeah, so run up some mana, Past in Flames, Grape Shot, and that should be the game. They may run out Serum Vision, Sleight of Hand, and just make the first Grape Shot do the job. There's the first Grape Shot, killing us one little pellet at a time. And then second Grape Shot. So at this point, though, if you enjoy, again, we'll have the logo in the center where you can subscribe on the left-hand side. Normally there's a video to the next video in the league, but since this was the last match of the league, and that puts us at a sadly a 2-3-6-6 finish. It was bizarre to have a 500 record and whatnot, but on the right we'll have a playlist to more matches of this particular deck, and we'll see you next time.